We'll go ahead and call to order the Wednesday, March 5th, 2025 City of Solon regular council meeting. That will start with the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go ahead and take a roll call. Duncan is absent tonight. Barlinger here. Gabriel.
Yeah.
Kramer. Yeah. Whitehead.
Here.
Our civility pledge. We pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, and acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our communities. We look to perfect and improve the agenda. Any changes to the agenda tonight, Kim?
No changes.
I'll
move.
Second. Barlinger.
Yes.
Gabriel.
Yes.
Kramer. Yes. Whitehead.
Yes.
Next is citizen speak. This is a time for anybody that would like to speak on a non-agenda item tonight. Is there anybody tonight? Tony?
My name is Tony Russo. I'm here with Donna Kessler, my neighbor, to talk about a contract with the city regarding the property. I've been a neighbor of Donna's for over half century, and I can speak for all of the Old Solon when I say there is not a more honorable, honest, a finer person in Solon, and a better neighbor doesn't exist. I'm here because a lot of us in town are concerned about the contract that she signed on December 19th, 2024 with Scott Kleppe. I'm here to speak for her first, and then she's going to tell you in her own words where she is with this and what happened. Donna did not know what she was signing. I have told the city that, and Donna and her daughter have told the city that. She did not have a clue. She was talking to Scott Kleppe about property, talking about selling it, as we all do. Not ever a deliberate conversation to have a contract signed and where she is now. She was talking about neighbors, thinking about parcels of land where somebody might want to build a house. It was a conversation. And she's known Mr. Kleppe for 20, 25 years. Goes by her house 10 times a day. She did not know what she was signing. She had no idea. No lawyer had seen it. No member of her family had seen it. Her daughter, who a year ago got a power of attorney, because Donna, like all of us when we get older, has some issues with forgetfulness and so forth. Her daughter was not told about this, was totally unaware of it, and was certainly not present as a witness. Donna thought Scott Kleppe had explained to her that the city wanted to survey the land, apart with everything else, and she thought that the contract was about surveying, and that was Article 1. Donna did not understand, and Scott Kleppe had said to her, no one is trying to say anyone did anything wrong or shaky. I'm not saying that. But Scott Kleppe was talking about Donna signing that because they wanted surveying, and this is an exact quote. He did not want her looking out the window some afternoon and seeing a bunch of men wandering around the property with surveying stakes. That's what she thought she was signing. And she has said this since I first found out about it in January when I read in the paper. I called her, what are you doing with your property? She said, oh, nothing. This is to let the city survey. She has told this over and over again. It is 100% the truth, and she's an honorable person. Her daughter was not aware of anything. There was no lawyer present. She did not have the protection of a lawyer even to look through it, let alone be with her. She signed this contract alone with Mr. Kleppe. There was not a single witness. Her daughter, who has her power of attorney, was not there. There was no lawyer that was even informed of any of this. And her daughter was not there, was not told of it. And Donna walked away thinking that they were going to come survey.
Tony,
I found out, excuse me.
let's go ahead, let's hear from Donna.
I-
Was there 3 minutes?
What I wanna say is, there's not a person in this room that would let their mother, an older person that lived alone, sign a contract regarding their property with the city without having an attorney. And
Tony,
yet, this is
Tony,
where we are.
let's
I'm
hear
sorry.
from,
Go
let's hear
ahead.
from Donna.
Take your time. Okay.
Hi, my name's Donna Kessler. December 19th, 2024, I signed a contract with the city of the property. I didn't know what I was signing. I didn't get the contract because I've read the contract because I didn't understand it. And I thought it was about letting the city surveyors survey my land. And he didn't want me looking out the back door someday seeing a stranger walking around. And then walking around my yard, no one said I needed the lawyer to look at it first. I just signed it to be helpful. And I didn't understand any of it. That is the truth. I signed the contract at Scott's office. And there were no witnesses. Scott signed, I wrote it, notary public. My daughter Carrie has my power of attorney. No one told her. And no one talked to her at all. She's very upset with me. Yeah, she is. So I told her the contract was about surveying. I'm not saying the city did anything wrong, but they won't listen to me. Cause I'm a woman, I guess. And that's, they won't listen to me, my daughter. And I also, the neighbor told the city I didn't know what I signed. And I want the city to please fix the water problem on my ground. And then a realtor and a lawyer will sell my property on the open market. And the city can speak with them. Please tear that contract up. I didn't understand what I was signing. Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Okay,
Did you write that?
yeah.
Or did Tony write that for
I
you?
wrote it for,
And where's your power of attorney right now? Who, you said your daughter was a power of attorney? So Tony's pretending to be your power of
I'm
attorney.
not pretending anything.
She wrote that for you and told you to read it, but your power of attorney is
No,
not
she
here.
asked me to write it, and I went over it with her. We've been working on this for the last hour.
So I think we need to hear from the power of attorney. I think you're trying to manipulate her, is what I think you're trying to do. In my opinion,
I think that's unnecessary to say.
I think she's a very nice woman. I think that, if she has the power of attorney, that, she should be here as well. That I think that you're manipulating her, in my opinion. And it may be inappropriate for me to say, but if somebody has the power of attorneys with someone, I think that they probably should be here as well.
I agree with that, but I think we can separate that out from talking about Tony's character.
Thank
Okay.
you. And do you not think that then the power of attorney person should have been with her mom when this contract was signed? If you think this is the problem, do you not think that was the problem?
I do, but I also think this is a problem as well.
I think there have been other conversations, I'm not gonna speak for, Cammy, but I know there have been conversations with your daughter, and I don't believe there's no purchase, that it hasn't been discussed, there's no plans for a purchase, that there was surveying, and with the investment of the survey, I believe that was a first right of refusal if it were to ever come up for sale. There's nothing that states property has to be sold, anything like that. I don't know. Either of you have.
Yeah,
any insight?
there's nothing that says we have, if Ms. Kessler doesn't ever sell it, the contract doesn't, there's nothing past that.
Yeah,
Isn't the
and I
water
respectfully
issue-
ask that Donna's daughter, has talked with me and has asked that she be involved in any conversations. So,
The question of, the water is another issue that there have been concerned about. Right now, you can go see the water starting to flow down the property. This is another problem that needs to be done. And Donna has not come before the council and has not spoken, although she and her daughter did go and talk to Cammy. And I talked to Cammy right after I saw it. And I think to insinuate that anyone is manipulating her, I think the shoe's on the other foot, to be respectful. And I'm here because I'm her neighbor, and Cammy knows this. I'm here because I feel it's the right thing to do. If I weren't here, and if I hadn't come forward with Cammy, none of this would have been an issue from the very beginning. And it is an issue. This needs to be looked at by an attorney, and this issue with the water needs to be resolved. And she signed a contract, but by her own admission, that she didn't understand. And there's no one manipulating her. This is her own statement. She didn't know what she signed, and she's thanked me for helping them. They don't know what to do. If you have any suggestions, I'd be happy to follow.
I'm not gonna say anything else.
All right, well, thank you for coming in and talking through that and letting us hear that, and we will continue conversations as, as need be with that, and I know that Cammy has talked to him that your daughter will be involved in any conversations as well. Yes, thank you. Any other want to speak on non-agenda items this evening? All right, next it takes down to the consent agenda. That would be the approval of minutes from the February 19th, 2025 regular meeting. Approval of the list of bills, the treasurer's reports and transfers. There are no building permits, and a couple of beer and liquor license approvals for RJ's Express and also as well as the Optimus Easter egg hunt. Is there anybody with Optimus?
no, it's pretty routine. They, the layout's been the same pretty consistently over the years, and, the event starts at 1:30. They start setting up at noon. Brody's aware of it, so we don't have any conflicts with any field scheduling. And, they did not put a rain date on there, I don't think either, so.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda. I'll second.
Pardon?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yes.
Kramer?
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes.
Next, that takes us back to the fire department, report. So there are 5 new members, which takes them up to 34 on the department. We discussed at the last agency meeting, of the 34, between 8 and 10 of them are full-time firefighters elsewhere. So that's pretty cool to see that we have a good number of full-time firefighters on the department. Wanted to highlight, there've been a few very serious events that have come up, and just wanted to stress just the appreciation for what our department does. In January on the 13th, we had a collision on Ely Road and 140th Street. It took 14 minutes to the rescue or get the individual that was trapped in the vehicle out of the vehicle. And from the time that the call went in to when the rescue was completed, it was just under 20 minutes. So the fact that serious injury or serious accident happened, that the call went in, they were able to get the person out of the vehicle in less than 20 minutes, very impressive. Also, on the 13th, it was a busy day. There's a structure fire out in Twin View Heights. They arrived, there's fire through the roof. From the time the call went in to the time the fire was out, 18 minutes. So very impressive again with the department that we have. February 8th, I know this one got a good amount of news coverage, but there was a drowning out on Lake McBride, very unfortunate event. With the training that the department has, they were able to get their ice suits, they were able to get out and recover the body of the person that drowned. And one other large one that happened, there's a structure fire on the 19th of February out at Cottage Reserve. Mutual aid, so we had assistance from other departments. But from the time the call went in to when the fire was under control, was about 20 minutes. So again, these folks are volunteering their time on it in 2024. There's almost 540 calls through the middle of February. There are 81 calls. So they're super busy. They're volunteering their time. Really cool to see that we have the numbers on the department back up to 34 on that, but just thought as we reviewed some of those more serious calls, that they had just wanted to take a moment to recognize the hard work, the dedication that our department has. So, that's all I wanted to share with that, but thought it was very worth talking about and giving them recognition for it. That, the sheriff's office report.
I got nothing, but I will say with Solon Fire, kind of hats off, so they do, for the other agencies, everybody does good, they're all volunteers, so hats off to the people just doing that anyway. I tell you, sometimes at 3 in the morning, they're fast, they're in a good mood, so I give a shout out to them as well.
Anything for the sheriff's department from anybody? Next, public works sheriff report.
I guess, a few things that I'll share, and then Dave and, Chris are also here from Public Works. Overall, I think that, we are, holding our own pretty well, in the absence of a Public Works director. We've divided the department up into various areas, and we have teams that are in charge of those areas. For example, snow removal is a team, and they're in charge of making decisions on behalf of the department. And like today, they have that today, so that's going well. We have a team in charge of buildings, the fleet and streets. So one of the things that we're dealing with right now is well 3. It's still down, as you know. Still working with the insurance company on any potential coverage. So that's ongoing. I just got a letter and spoke to our agent today and saying that it's still under investigation. Want to give a little update on your conversation with Northway?
Yeah,
Dave?
Northway, I talked to them last week and, they said they should be, ready to go this week, but I haven't seen them yet. So. I think today's weather probably slowed them down, but, they're ready and they have everything they need. They just gotta start. But once it gets going, it should take another week or so. We should be back online.
So our approach for that is, as you know, the council approved that invoice at the last meeting. We know it's unexpected. So we are planning to access our capital improvement levy, the money that we have set aside for the water tower improvements, to cover the expenses up front, and then we'll figure out after we know how much insurance will cover what we're gonna have to backfill and figure out how to cover the rest. We had the shop, well, 2, both shops lost power today. So we are on temporary power there right now. They're coming to, E&J's coming tomorrow to determine what's going on there.
We're on full utility power at the well and the old shop. The new shop, the wire that goes underneath the road has degraded. It needs to be replaced.
Appreciate that. But when it went out, it took out.
Yeah, through the breaker for everything, yeah.
So always exciting. What else is going on, Chris?
Got equipment ready, cleaned up from, last month's snow event, and we've been working on spring cleaning, getting our stuff ready for spring, taking, inventory of, everything we're gonna need to open the parks up, planning ahead for that.
Yeah.
Our splash pad permit Monday for the season, so.
So splash pad, it takes a state permit and then a county inspection. So Chris, took the initiative and got us set up, that that's all ready to go. And then as it gets a little closer to season, then we'll Johnson County come and do the actual inspection. So yeah, we navigated that pretty well. Thanks for your help on that.
Yep.
Susie's been helping with some invoices. We're all trying to kind of figure out, when to pay bills, how to pay bills. Needed to order some paint, so we figured out you know, how to, with Susie's help, how to order the street paint. I think it's a collective effort. And I feel like we're doing a darn good job keeping things going, so.
Makes sense. Library report, Liz.
Yes, a lot of exciting things going on in March. The Friends had their book sale on this past Saturday, did really well. And the great thing is that while people were there buying books, they were also bidding on our artwork. So the foundation for the library is hosting their 4th annual art auction. Those pieces will be up and available for silent auction until Saturday, March 15th at 2 p.m. So be sure and come and see. There's something for everyone. There's both everything hanging up in the meeting room and then also the large display case. We have March Mammal Madness. So the brackets have to be turned in by this Saturday. You have an opportunity to go through with your family and figure out which of all the various creatures, there's even a bingo tree this year, which ones will win. And it's all hypothetical. Arizona State University does all the research for us. We just get to sit back and enjoy after we've made our predictions. So be sure and pick one of these up and get them turned in by Saturday. Also, this Saturday, the deadline is for the 2 foundation scholarships. So any seniors, you know, in the Solon area school district, be sure to get them to come pick up an application and get that turned back into me by Saturday the 8th. And then also on Saturday the 8th is our Fun for All night. We'll be starting gym games at 6, Despicable Me at 7 with popcorn from Tyson's. And then during spring break week, just in case some people aren't traveling, we know some will be in the area. So we've got all ages Lego Day on Monday the 17th at 2:30. For teens, we have hot cocoa, board games and conversations at 3 on Tuesday the 18th. And then on Thursday the 20th, we have an all ages movie day where we'll be showing Garfield at 1:30. And then on Monday the 24th, we begin baby time and we're partnering with Brody at the rec center. So Lily will go over and do baby time, which is early literacy rhymes and games with our very youngest patrons at 9:15. And then anybody who comes to that gets a free ticket to get into tot time. Hopefully we're hoping then that people only have to make one stop with those littles during the winter so they can enjoy baby time and then go right in and play with all the inflatables and everything that Brody sets up at 10 o'clock. Drawing club is starting up again. That'll be a 6-week session for 4th through 8th graders. It's been very popular. That does require registration, just so we know we have enough sketchbooks and materials. That starts on Wednesday, the 26th of March. I think that's everything. I know Cammie and Dan and John both all went to the Capitol to talk about all the various bills that are happening. Keep in mind that some of those potentially adversely impact libraries. And of course, that's true at the national level as well. So the more you can support your library by using it, by sharing your story about how it's impacted your life and how it's helped with whatever those issues might be, we're very grateful for that support.
And in addition to that, we were able to meet with some of the legislators while we were up there, and they voiced their optimism around the bills that would negatively impact the library if not going through. So hopefully their optimism ties with that, but that was something that they brought up just right off the bat to make sure that we got that message back to you as well.
Good, thank you.
And Liz, thank you as always. The programming we enjoy in this city is stellar. So thank you.
I will pass it on to our staff. They are amazing. Thank you.
With that, we have city engineer report, Dave.
Yes, good evening. A few things that we have ongoing. Lakeview Elementary is looking to expand their parking lot or make some revisions to it. So we've been working in conjunction with them on some possible improvements at Chapel as well as Racine going north. So we're working on those concepts. Prairie Rose Lane, we've been working with the contractor to get the contract documents executed and get that project ready to go. The wastewater plant project, finishing up the anti-degradation report, should have something ready to go here in the next couple of weeks and be able to discuss that with council early April. The Trail Ridge projects, those are on the agenda later, so we can talk about those at that point. That's what I have.
Kevin? Takes us down to new business, Trail Ridge Part 3 construction plans.
So where we're at is that we're at the construction plan phase. How the process works is that starts with a preliminary plat that goes through P&Z and council. And then at that time, we did the conditional zoning agreement and the developers agreement. The next step in the process is the construction plans, which Dave has been reviewing. This is really the lot of detail on the, water, street, sewer, storm drainage, for the phase. You're gonna see that there's parts 3A and 3B on the agenda tonight. They were approved at our first meeting in January. And so that's kind of like the typical time it takes to, those were submitted fairly quickly after that, but they're pretty detailed, so it takes some time. But Dave, has reviewed and these are ready to go. We have signed developers agreements and conditional zoning agreements. So what this does is allows the city to approve their water sewer permits with DNR. And then once they get those approvals from DNR, they're able to start moving dirt, installing water and sewer for the development.
Any comments?
Those questions.
I guess from that, Dave, do you want to just give some highlights or any comments?
Sure, we've worked pretty closely with MMS and with Watts to go over the stormwater calculations, make sure that the sanitary sewer on the lower end was put in an elevation that we could extend along the High Ridge Trail extension to the west if we wanted to do that in the future. And just made sure that all the other appurtenances, water main, valves, hydrants, all those sort of things are put in there appropriately according to the way the city has done those in the past. So everything has been revised according to the comments we provided. Had some minor adjustments on a few of the street grades and some of those types of things, but everything looks pretty good. Recommend that we approve both phases.
Any questions or comments from anybody?
We approve both phases, or does each one have to be done individually?
We'll do them in 2 votes.
I move to approve Trail Ridge Estates Part 3A construction plans.
I'll second.
Harlan?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yes.
Kramer?
Yes.
Whitehead?
Yes.
Takes us to Trail Ridge Estates Part 3B construction plans. Any additional comment on 3B?
I don't. Do you have any additional comments, Dave, on 3B? Well, I guess I just want to make sure that you may remember this during the discussion in January, that this is kind of where that third access becomes very important. And so there's language in the developers agreement that says that 3B, no final plat for 3B can be issued until 3A is completed, because we need that third access so we're not over the number of houses allowed in the development. It's the only comment I had, Dave. Was there anything else you think we should highlight?
No, I think that's important to note that we'd have to have that access onto 382 with 3A in order for us to have that accommodated. Otherwise, we get into a situation where, just like when we looked at that small phase earlier, we didn't have the additional access to allow more houses. So as long as the timing works out on that, they can do the improvements. We just won't allow any houses built until we get that connection made up to 382.
No? Pretty well summed it up. We have a motion for Part 3B construction plans.
Move to approve Trail Ridge Estates Part 3B construction plans.
I'll second.
Harlan?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yes.
Kramer? Yes. Whitehead?
Yes.
That takes us to item 16, the community center lease renewal. Tammy?
Yeah, this lease renewal has historically run from April 1st to March 31st. And the draft that the school has proposed is for 2 years. They are, which I think fits well with what they have shared. They have plans to demo the building at some point. We know that. We've been hearing 2 years pretty regularly since the bond passed. So now we really have 2 years that we know we can count on, that we would still have, access to the building. So other than the 2-year change, they did for the first time since 2018, modify the utility, payment that we pay. It's really a 3-legged stool. The school pays part of the utilities. All fees that come in from Jordan Creek go toward utilities, and then the city picks up part of the utilities. So they did adjust those by 7%, based on the latest Alliant increases. I don't feel that's unreasonable, considered we've been there since 2018, and they were very flexible during COVID and let us lower the rates for the summer months. And we continue to pay a lower rate in the summer months, just because we don't use the building so much. So I don't think it's an unfair request on what they're asking to increase that. And so I would recommend approval. So this would go into effect as of April 1st next month, and then be valid for 2 years.
I'll move to approve the community center lease renewal.
I'll second. Farland,
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
Kramer. Yes. Whitehead.
Yes.
That takes us to item 17. It's resolution number 25/15 on-call policy for Public Works Department. Okay.
This is a resolution I'm asking the council to approve. We have developed a on-call pay policy because as Scott retired, who held the phone that rang 24/7 for 27 years. We've decided that it's not fair for one person to be chained to a phone 24 hours a day forever. And so we transferred that number to a new phone that's now become the on-call phone, and each Public Works staff member has that phone for 1 week. They get paid a per diem per day for holding that phone, and we have some guidelines established of what it means to have that phone. How to respond, when to respond, what actions. And so because this is a through payroll type of pay versus a stipend, council resolution is deeded so that we can have that as a policy. At this point, this resolution just gives me the authority to create a policy. And because we're only 3 weeks into this policy, I feel like there's gonna be some tweaks to it over time, but it does allow that opportunity for our staff to be paid under this resolution. That's what I'm asking for.
Appreciate just, Dave and Chris, both of you here, and also to Jacob, Nate, and Ryan, just everything that you're taking on. Well, for Susie and Cammy too, but really appreciate just the openness and willingness to divide and conquer on this. So.
I'll move to approve resolution 25/15.
Farley.
Yes.
Gabriel.
Yes.
Kramer. Yes. Whitehead.
Yes.
Takes us to item 18, resolution 25/16, family health contribution. Cammy.
Yeah, this is a conversation you may recall at budget time. This is just the formality part of it. So in December, the Personnel Committee met, and one of the items that was discussed was that the city has been on an every other year rotation to increase the amount of city contribution for family premiums. There has been a long goal to make family insurance more accessible for our employees. It's just, it becomes just difficult to have, for employees to have family coverage. And so the goal has been to, I'd say the path has been to increase $75 every other year toward family coverage for employees that would like to have access to that. Currently, it's $375 a month. The $75 would take it up to $450 a month. Lauren and John talked about this, and then how this works now is I did account for that in the budget. And our renewals are on a May 1st, so I'm getting ready to meet next week on what those renewals are, getting all of our renewal papers ready. So this would go into effect on May 1st, and it lets city employees know as they're going through the sign up phase what the contribution is going to be on the city's behalf. Currently, the city pays 100% of the employees' healthcare premiums, and then $375 a month toward family. With this resolution, it'll now be $450 toward family as of May 1st. That makes sense?
Any questions, comments, or motion?
I'll move to approve resolution 2516. Like.
Barlinger.
Yes.
Gabriel.
Yes.
Kramer.
Yes. Whitehead.
Yes.
That takes us down to other business. We have the council committees, the streets, the Lakeview improvements. No.
I was hoping to get something together, but being out of town, but, you know, Dave's got some concepts that he's been sharing with the school's engineer, and we'd just like to get the streets committee's input on that. I know you had a peek at it, Dan. So we'll try to get that scheduled here in the next week or so.
Next one that we have an update, personnel, the public works director interview, so continuing progress on that. We're gonna have some meetings with the public works team, with a couple potential candidates, tomorrow. Yes, that is, so, looking forward to getting some feedback and making progress there. And again, until that is filled, again, just lots of appreciation, everything that, all the staff's doing to divide and conquer and pick up the slack with that opening. Last one we have is the city and school, 28E agreement, draft and the lease, which we just approved the lease and updates on the 28E.
No update on it yet, sorry.
That is city clerk report, Susan. City administrator comments, Cam.
Right now, nothing was submitted for planning and zoning, so at this point, it doesn't look like there's going to be a planning and zoning meeting this month. Also, we got word that garbage and recycling will be on Saturday this week, so we're working on getting the word out about that.
Council comments.
We went to this League of Cities, I think as you mentioned it earlier. It was just to meet with some legislators, and it was a very great experience. Cammie has done a wonderful job of being a great steward for our city over the years. And when we're at the Capitol, there's just talking to the other cities and the other administrators. It was just astounding to see the amount of respect and just the great job that Cammie's done of fostering that for our community. So thank you it was great to see that, meet with the legislators, but first and foremost, the amount of the other communities that just respect what you've done and what you continue to do for our city.
I think down their comments, I was gonna mention the same thing as that, but again, Cammie, it is really cool just to see it. We weren't by your side and talking to others. The first question we got when finding out we're from Solomon, oh, is Cammie up here? You see her, and it's just the amount of praise that you get from other administrators, other cities, your willingness to help, bring them along or take new administrators under your wing, things like that. It's just really cool to see, and it makes us really proud to have you as our administrator here. So thank you for just helping promote Solon in a very positive way. That takes us to the closed session. So with that, we have a motion to go into closed session.
Move to go into closed session.
Second. Marlon.
Yes.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Kramer. Yes. Whitehead.
Yes.